In order to create assignments in the new Power Teacher Gradebook Pro, you're going to log in, come up here to create, and choose assignment. The first thing you have to do is choose a class. It's going to default to the class you're currently in. However, you can choose multiple classes. So this is a semester 2 geometry class. If I look, I also teach geometry semester 2 here. So if they both have the same assignment, you can choose more than one for this assignment to go into, so you don't have to do it over again. Next, you have to give it a name. I'm just going to choose Bellwork 1. The next thing you have to do is choose a category. And notice if I choose the category of test, it's going to change these defaults. That's why setting up the defaults, which we had in a previous video, is so nice, because then if you set up the default, you don't have to change any of these each time. So when I set up my Bellwork category, I knew that my Bellwork art is generally out of 10 points. So this is all set up for me. You don't have to stick with it though. This is the default, so generally that's what happens. If, for instance, this one's out of 15, you just change it and that doesn't change the defaults, it just changes this one assignment. Pay attention to that score type when you're picking for your assignments, as well as setting up those defaults. So the options are points. That means I want to enter something like 8 out of 10. I could choose percent. That's where I want to put in the 80 out of 100. Or the letter grade, I want to put in the F. Whatever you want to be entering, make sure you choose the correct thing here. Notice there is also a collected only, which is a nice feature for certain things that aren't really assignments, but you need to keep track of, like permission slips or something. So I'm keeping this one out of 10 points, and it's included in the final grade. The due date you choose, but one thing to know is that you can change it per class. So I chose 2 classes. If they have different due dates, you can set that up individually, which is nice. For now, I'm going to keep it the same and just pick something in the future. The next thing you have as you scroll down is the description. This is what you put here is what parents and students are going to see in their portal, the student portal and the parent portal. And a really nice feature is whatever you type here, will have the option of a link. So I could type something in like this, click here for the lesson, highlight, click here, come over here to the link icon, and then I can paste in a link to my digital resource. So a lot of us are now using digital resources such as something in the Google Suite, a Google Doc, a HyperDoc, a Google Slides. You could put in a website, your teacher website, whatever you want, you can put a link here and it will be clickable for them to see through the parent and student portal. So notice now that's a clickable link for them, hyperlink, which is really nice. It's tempting to hit save and close right now, but one thing you want to make sure is to go through each of these tabs up here at the top. A nice feature of Power Teacher Gradebook Pro is that you can assign certain assignments to only specific students. If that's the case, you would need to use this tab and clearly pick out the students that you want. However, for now, I'm just keeping it for everybody. The standards tab is something the district isn't going to have right now, but in the future, if we have standards-based grading, the standards will be in here for you to pick. Right now, we're sticking with traditional grades. And then the publish, you also want to check this out. The default is immediately, which means as soon as I hit save and close, it's in my gradebook and parents and students can see it in their portal. You can change that though. You can pick on a specific date, a number of days before the due date, on the due date, whatever you want to do. Sometimes it's nice to have it be in there in the future, but not too far in the future. So if you know you have a test in a month, you don't want to, put it out there, scare the kids or whatever the case may be. Maybe you want it to show up 2 weeks before. That's fine. Just make sure before you hit save and close that you've gone through each of these tabs to make sure that what you're putting in your gradebook is exactly how you want it. And when you're done, you're going to hit save and close.